Hello traders, and welcome to this TradingView tutorial, which I'm going to split in two parts. We're going to have the part one, which is more going through the features for the beginners, and then part two I'm going to be going a bit more technical and more in detail. So for today's session, it's going to be more tailored to the beginners. However, if you have used TradingView before and you want to watch this clip, you might find something useful. So first we're going to start off with the price brackets that TradingView offer. So you got the Essential, which offers 2 charts per tab with 5 indicator, 10,000 historical bars, 20 alerts, 20 technical alerts, and 10 parallel chart connections. That for me is enough for a beginner. I was on the premium before, however, at that point I used to use a lot of indicators and I used to backtest on TradingView, so I used to use the 20k historical bars because I used to use lower time frames. So now I have moved on to FX Replay, which I find better for backtesting, so I don't use that feature as much, so the Essential does me fine. One thing you can do is sign up to Essential and then start upgrading depending on how your trading strategy will evolve, because when you first start, your strategy is going to change. You know, I started off with 3 and 4 indicators to now just trading with the naked eye. I don't use any indicators whatsoever. The only indicators I use is for when I use my crypto bots, because I do trade crypto bots. So now that we've gone through the landing page, we are going to go into TradingView, and the page will open up, and you can see here we have some tabs, and one tab that I think is quite interesting that a lot of traders on TradingView don't really speak about is streams. So if you click on that tab that says streams there, you do get a lot of live streams that are all completely free and come with your subscription, and it's worth having a look. You know, so when I'm driving to work or picking the kids up from school, I do put these live streams on and just leave them play in the background, and there's loads of value information there, and you'll probably find a streamer that you will like, and you will be waiting for when he uploads, you know, when he goes live with a new stream. Very, very interesting tab there with a lot of information. It's like I said, it's all free and it's all available on TradingView. You got the ideal stream tab here as well. Charts, where people share charts with where price prediction or you know, asking questions. You got my ideas. This is when you feel comfortable and you want to share ideas. The news section, which is very important, so you can see what news events are coming up. You can click on them, read a bit about the news. You do have like the forecast on them, so you can obviously have a bit of a read, and I think it might even launch a chart here if you click on it. Yep, so it kind of launches a chart. I'm not really fluent with how to read the chart like this, but if you want to get into it, there it goes, the feature available to you. Hot list, you got your alerts, which we are going to show you in a bit, and then you've got your watch list. Now we need to create a watch list and a layout to start off with, because you can see mine is already filled with some information, but when you first start, you're going to have a blank page. So I have crypto, forex, John's list, and Qcoin. This is all my AI bots. So when you first start, you're going to have 0 of these categories here, so you're going to have to create one. So we're going to start creating by clicking this tab at the top which says create new list, and we're going to name it TradingView. Once we save it, that is now available, and we have a nice clean list. Now we want to add some pairs that we want to analyze, or hopefully in the future trade them. So you've got a few features here with stocks, funds, future, forex, crypto, indices, bonds, and economy. So basically I trade the indices, so I'll be putting the S&P, the Nifty, and my favorite, the Dow Jones. You put them in that category and they're available for you to view under the TradingView. If I create another category and I flip, you'll see that it'll flip and it'll bring all the other assets underneath that category. So how you want to section those categories is individual per trader. So some people might want to put it as hot list and or high risk, low risk, and so on, you know, and you can categorize them that way. You can choose a color for each asset. For example, if I click red, that will automatically drop with all the reds. So if I click the reds, all the reds in these categories will go into the red list up here. So that's something that you can categorize them that way as well. But for this tutorial, we're going to leave them blank. Now we're going to go into the charts, and now we're in the US 30. So what do we have available that we can use to help us succeed in trading? So we have the replay button here. So for back testing, if you want to back test your strategy, great feature. You want to go down, because if you're back testing now and you just draw in on the chart, you can see the future price. So what's a good idea is if you just hit the replay button and go back in the past, so you can't see future price. This will give you a bit of a more realistic feel. So when you set up your trades, you can see, listen, how do I perform on a back testing scenario where I can't see the future price. Let's see how I react, how my emotions play out. Obviously it's not the real thing, but it's the closest you can get to, you know, without being real. You have this feature here. You have two features. You can either press it manually, which is the one that I use, or you can play around with the speeds. You got like ×1, ×10 if you want it really slow, you know. So let's say we're going to use a ×3, hit the play button, and off it goes. And you can see it will actually move as if it was a live price, and then you can say, listen, okay, I missed this trade, or it was successful. You do have the sell and buys. You can have a bit of a play with them to set up trades, and it might give you the wins and the losses. However, I'm not quite fluent with it because I use FX Replay to backtest. To close it, press the X, bang, and closed. Alerts, you got two sections. You can either set an alert from here, set up your notifications. You can notify you in the app and by email. So you can set an alert from here, or you can just go direct to the page, is what I use, and say, listen, at this price, I want alert. That will save on your page. Now, if some people, I only trade up to 4 assets, but some people might trade 10 or the scalper. So it's hard for them to be available on every single chart. So what they might do is they might set an alert here and then go on the next one, say, listen, if price comes here, I'll set an alert here. And basically they can just flip through charts without having to be present on each individual chart. So that way they can only enter the chart when they see the alert. So it'll notify them and then they go direct to the chart. So very good feature, and you have a certain amount of alerts with the essential option as well. So indicators, this is where you find all your indicators. So as you can see, I've got my favorites all highlighted. So let's say we want to add EMAs. We've got the moving average. Click the yellow button, highlight the button, the star, and that will take you straight to the favorites, and you will find your indicator there. Click it and it'll go back off. Another thing on the layouts that I didn't show you, so on the intraday, you can see intraday here, that's the layout that I set out. So the layouts are, if I've clicked on the US 30 and I want to use a few strategies, you can see that this is a naked eye chart. There's nothing here. Where if I click on the BB, which is my Bollinger Band strategy, well, it looks like it's EMAs there. So yep, so that one is something that I must have used, and I'm not using it as much now. And you can see that I do have the MACD at the bottom as well, so that will automatically bring those indicators on the chart. And you can put a few layouts anyway, so you can set out layouts how you want. So let's go back onto intraday. Here's where you can change your bars. So if you're a trader that use candlesticks, you can leave it on candlesticks. If you're a trader that use bars, you can change it to bars. You got the line and some other features that other traders might use, but I leave mine on the candlesticks. Time frames, here's where you can add your time frames, so you can flip through them. Any highlighted time frame will go on to your time frame section, and you can flip through individual time frame to analyze the chart. Yep, at the moment mine's on daily, so we'll make it a bit smaller. Then here you have the tool section. So you got your tools, for example, the ones that are highlighted are on my favorites. So if I want to add the ray, I can just click on the ray and that will highlight, and the ray will go up here. Let's say I want to add the info line, that will go up here. Once I tick them off, that will go off. Now, one thing that a lot of traders have messaged me is saying, listen, my toolbar's gone, well, I can't find it. A lot of the time what will happen is this star at the bottom, if you unclick it, the bar will go. So that's if you want a clean chart. So for example, I don't like a lot of things popping around, so I'll take off the bar section when I don't need it, and then I'll quickly go and put it back on when I want to start using the tools, because as it gets bigger it can cover quite a few items on the top. So that's why a lot of the times you can't find your tool section. So just click it and it'll go back off. So again, here you got your trend lines and all the lines for drawing. Here you got your Fibonacci and some other Fibonacci kind of indicators that I don't really use. I just use the standard with settings that I've altered, which I'll show you how to do it on the next session, colors and some other levels that I want on mine. Here you have some more tools as well. You got the head and shoulder tool, which you know, if you want to draw your head and shoulder, it'll actually put the left shoulder, head and right shoulder there for you. So if you want to mark your chart and then take a picture of it and then just save it for the future, you can obviously use that. Here on the top, I forgot this one, it's your navigator. So at the moment I have an arrow. You can change this to the dot or this kind of cross sign here, or you can use this new feature, which really I don't know exactly what it's for, but when you press it starts flying sweets all over the place. So that's something interesting really, but I use the arrow. Now here you've got your brush, your highlighter, arrow maker. This is basically a lot of things that you can add to your chart. So if you want to kind of map it out and then, you know, hit your point, I don't know, your highs and your lows, and then you can take a picture at the end for your journal, or if you want to share it on social media. Rectangle, which is really good for marking your key zones, and the path, which I use for marking my higher highs and higher lows, for example. That's another good tool. You got your text, so you can type in information that you need. So obviously jumped onto capital letters there. You got your call out, which is really good. So if you want to say, listen, I don't know, that's a maraboozle, you can take a picture at the end, like we said, journal it, and then when you come to analyze your chart images, you go straight to the important features within that chart. Here you have some kind of emojis. I think these are more for adding on the chart if people share with each other or want to make it a bit more colorful. It's not something that I use, but yep, it's there to have. Here you have this measuring tool, which measures a certain amount of bars that you set. So from here to here, there's 16 bars. Now, some traders, I don't use it as much, but I've seen some traders, especially on like YouTube, that measure a certain amount of bars on one pair, for example on US 30, then measure the same amount of bars on for example the Nifty, and measure the volatility, so they can find out kind of how volatile that pair is within a certain amount of time, because some traders might like high volatility pairs, some might like low volatility. It depends on your strategy and you individually as a trader. And again, down here you have your time frames if you want to click quicker. So for today, traders, I think it's enough. I've gone through all the basics. Next week we will be jumping into more technical features that TradingView offers. For now, thank you very much for watching, and if you want to leave any comments with any suggestions or anything that you need showing on TradingView, please leave it on the comments section, and I will reply personally to try and assist you in the best way I can. So thank you very much for watching.